How to quit smoking? Smoking is a terrible habit. We all recognize this. However, if you need to give up the smoking or cannot, this video for you. Many human beings are discussed within the center of quitting smoking, so I draw attention to the truth that in case you recognize that take place in you, the body. When you smoke, your strength, that is the self-belief, yourself, you will grow many times. You recognize that people cannot live without oxygen. The oxygen in our breath first goes to the lung where it enters the blood. The lungs have millions of air sacs in which oxygen enters the blood for the lungs. Smoking destroys the cells in the air sacs in your lungs. Once destroyed, the alveoli they cannot regenerate it. Because the lung contains billions of air sacs, we do not know if something is missing. However, lung damage happens silently day after day while many air sacs are destroyed. Critical illness and respiratory problems begin. Once the respiration disorder starts, there may be no manner to absolutely recover from it. Smoking causes cancer in the lungs and almost every body part. The list too long for the mouth, throat, stomach, liver, kidneys, bladder, and uterus. In addition to the breathing problem, smoking increases the risk of the lung cancer by at least 25 times. I have heard some smokers say that smoking only increases the risk, which means I may or may not, I cannot. Here are two statistics for those who think about it. Smoking kills 1 out of 2 people who smoke. That is, if all the causes the death of worldwide cause the end of the 50 smoker, smoking alone causes the death of the remaining 50 people. 2. A smoker lives 8 to 10 years less on average. That means if your non-smoking friend lives to be 70 years old, you have a 60 to 62 years life expectancy. And some smokers say that they are not afraid and quencher. When death comes, I will live happily as long as I live. The problem here that is smoking cannot take you the pleasure even before you die. If you wrinkle can survive in many ways, decrease the fertility. That is, pregnant women have problem giving birth, and even if the child is the child's body has a birth defect falls in the skin at the young age. The softening of the heart, due to which bones can usually break. The risk of the cornea is high due to the loss of gums, falling of teeth, cataracts in the eyes, and reduce the immunity of the body. Smoking increases the risk of the heart attack and stroke. There are some common misconceptions in our society that we often say in front of others. In non-smoker also have heart attacks. Hearing this, many people say that those who do not smoke have heart attack and strokes. That is not entirely true, but logic is imperfect. Those people have other risk factors for heart attacks and strokes, such as blood pressure and drink overnight. Even as you are doing in attention, smoking is adding a brand new risks. After hearing these words, some people say that the damage to the body has already been done by smoking, and now there will be no benefit for quitting smoking. You may assume that the COPD, lung cancer, heart problem, etc. have already happened. So what is the purpose of stopping smoking? The main reason to stop smoking is stop wasting what is the little respiratory organ and heart health you have got. Lung health start to improve the moment you quit smoking. Quitting smoking is not straightforward, but millions of people around the world have quit smoking, and so you can. If you have got quit smoking, this plan will help you to stay quit smoking. I will explain to you more. No matter how long you have been smoking, the moment you quit, your body starts to repair itself. What repair? Within 20 minutes of smoking, your last cigarette, your heart rate and blood pressure will return to normal. Within 8 hours, blood oxygen levels start to normalize within the 48 hours. Or harmful the carbon monoxide is removed from the body. Naturally, the smell of the nose returns to the taste of the mouth. Within 72 hours, the respiratory system began to expand, making breathing easier. Within 3 to 9 months, lung capacity could increase by up to 10%. After 1 year, the risk of the heart attack is cut in half. Within 5 years, your risk of the mouth, throat, asparagus, and blood cancer was cut in half. The risk of cervical cancer or stroke became the same as that of the non-smoker. After 10 years, the risk of that dying from the lung cancer have halved. After 15 years, the risk of the heart attack is equal to that of the person who has never smoked. Is not great. Hopefully, the motivation, the quiet smoking has the strength. Here is the 7 tips of the quitting smoking. The number 1 is cigarette cannot be give another pull. Once you have decided to leave, don't use another cigarette. Research that is shown that thinking as just one cigarette each or just one drug makes it harder to stop. After a puff, most smokers go back to smoking. You have to be strong. Remove things that make you want to smoke, such as cigarette, lighter, and accessory spray. Avoid going to the places where you wish to smoke as much as possible. Occupy yourself with other activities during this time by would usually smoke. For example, if you smoke a cigarette after dinner, you may get up the street after the eating and go to bed. And some foods add to the taste of the smoking that make it more attractive, such as meat, tea, coffee, soft drinks, and etc. So avoid them. Also, the smoking some food makes taste and unpleasant, such as fruits and vegetables. So eat more. If you stop smoking, you will feel bad for the first few days. It has been said a little earlier that changes happen in the body in the first few days. It would be best if you made a plan to overcome this bad feeling in advance. All the adverse reactions that may occur in the body are the restlessness, irritability, tiredness, sleep problem, constipation, a lack of the concentration. Don't panic if these appear. Know that they are normal and you will heal in a few days. Remind yourself how much your body is benefiting from this bad feeling. You should figure out 3 ways to suppress the urge to smoke. When you want to take a puff on a cigarette, try to stop it. This idea is most potent after 2 minutes, so you must divert your mind. There are 3 ways to can do it. Number 1, designate a friend call when you want to smoke, and he will encourage you not to smoke. Start a story about something you love. Number 2, think about the reason why you wanted to quit smoking. If it is for your little girl, give a picture for her with and look at it. If you are planning to have a baby in a few days, remind yourself that your baby's body is because of the smoking, they can't be born with defects. Number 3, you can walk a little from outside, but if you go to a few break, there are possibility for buying cigarette from a shop again. Then you have to try other method. Expect for her method. Spend more time with friends who do not smoke, who have quit smoking, than with friends who smoke. If someone asks you to smoke, think about how to not to do it. You will be able to say, I quit smoking, or thank you, I don't smoke. If you have friends who have successfully quit smoking, what method did you use? Exercise regularly than 5 minutes of exercise daily can help reduce the urge to smoke. Some medication, nicotine patch, inhaler, or spray can help you. This will reduce the urge to the smoke. You can start with the doctor's advice on which is best for you. Don't be disgusted if you smoke again after quitting smoking. You are not alone. Most smokers are forced to quit smoking on the first try, and most of those who live are successful after several attempts. So don't be discouraged if for some reason you end up smoking once you start the process without it. Check the situation where you could not stop yourself so you don't make the same mistake again. If my advice does not work, consult a doctor if you the choice. But do not give up without stopping smoking. Finally, I am going to give you some more advice. No smoking at work. Unsurprisingly, some people cough more after quitting smoking and produce more phlegm. That's because the lungs try to clear them after they stop smoking. We will feel bad for several days due to the quitting smoking. Maybe you will have a headache and you would not sleep. Your mood will be irritable and would not go to the toilet regularly, but it would not be the normal. Remember, That is, your body will adjust to not smoking in a few weeks, then would not feel bad anymore. It would be the best to forget the pain of the quitting smoking. There are various activities, for example, walking in the garden, taking a bath several times a day, taking any medicine for anxiety or depression on the advice of a doctor, going for a walk, talking with non-smoking friends, avoiding smoking for chatting with the smoking friends, etc. No smoking at work. Unsurprisingly, some people cough more after quitting smoking and produce more phlegm. That's because the lungs try to clear them after they stop smoking. You will feel bad for several days due to the quitting smoking. Maybe you will have a headache and you would not sleep, or the mood will be irritable and would not be go to the toilet regularly, but would not be the normal. Remember that your body will just to not smoke in a few racks. Then it would not feel bad any time anymore. It's owed the best forget the pain of this quitting smoking through various activities. For example, walking for the garden, taking a bath several times a day, taking an medicine for anxiety or the depression on the advice of the doctor, going for a walk, taking with non-smoking friends, avoiding smoking for chatting with the smoking friends, etc. Ready. Remember that nicotine is tobacco is a highly addictive substance. Day after day of smoking, your body gets used to the nicotine. The problem caused by the nicotine withdrawal are called smoking withdrawal symptoms. Thus, smoking the association symptom may temporarily cause you the loss of the ability to think or the feel energy. Sometimes it can be the anxiety and sometimes depression. Don't be worried. It is a temporary phenomenon. You will have to suffer a little to avoid smoking. And with the patience, it is possible to get rid of this pain. You are the washing you the good health is a long life. See you again soon in one of these videos. Until then, stay well.